Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Just Into Discord. Live now, episode 313. 9/11's coming up. Are you guys excited? We're gonna blow the roof off this fucking place. Okay. That joke? Alright.
I want to keep my roof on my house, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm on the bottom floor of an apartment complex. I don't care if the roof goes. I still have another apartment above me.
It's like, fuck you, neighbors.
I don't like the people that moved in that apartment. That's a couple floors above me anyway.
Yeah, but you do realize that any water that seeps into their floor is also seeping into your ceiling.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, do you want them to have to completely remodel your apartment again after that whole pipe fiasco?
Maybe. Oh man, I just signed a new lease. So I guess I'm stuck here again.
Yeah.
They seem to like me because I'm just like, I'm not... They asked me like a month ago, they're like, hey, are you willing to sign a new lease? And I was like, yeah, I told you guys last year, I have no intention on moving. I'm a 5-minute walk from my work. I do not want to go anywhere right now.
It's like purely out of convenience.
Yeah. I can make it to my sister's place in like 10 minutes walking. There's a bus. It takes like 15 minutes to get to the center of downtown Seattle. Yeah, I'm good.
No need to change the working system.
Yep. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, I fix what ain't broke.
Yeah.
So yes, I am
Plus,
back,
I don't
and
pay
I'm
for
not in
electricity,
pain
and they don't know
anymore.
that yet.
Imagine Jables' landlord is just randomly watching the show.
That'd be hilarious. My apartment doesn't have.
He's not. There's only it's only registering me and Jables is watching right now, so we're just talking to ourselves.
No, my apartment used to be the management office for the building, and then they turned it into an apartment. So my apartment doesn't have a meter. There's no way for me to pay electricity.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very.
As I said, I am back and no longer in pain.
Congrats. I am a little
I mean, like,
bit
if I turn my head too suddenly, I still feel sore, but... Yeah, it's not what it was last Sunday. Last Sunday was really bad.
I'm a little bit in pain because I decided to pick up skateboarding again.
All right, old man.
Yeah. Watched Lords of Dogtown last
Hello,
night.
fellow
Deana.
kids.
I wish I had a skateboard up here so I could do that. Just, hello, fellow kids. It's not as funny when you're the fellow kids guy actually doing it. Or the joke. It'd be funnier if you were doing it seriously.
Hello, fellow kids.
You have to put the hat on backwards, Jables.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an alleyway behind my place, and it's kind of sloped for like drainage reasons, you know. So it's kind of nice. I was just skating up and down the alleyway, just sort of going. But I did fall once. So now I hurt a little bit. But
what do you guys do? What'd you guys do? Anything happen this week?
I was just.
I took a
explaining.
job. I took a job on Wednesday and got laid off the same day.
Yeah.
Which sounds a lot
sorry
worse than
about
it
that.
actually is. Because that was a trade show call, so literally the only thing we were doing was laying out extension cords for the, whatever expo is going on that we're setting up for, and taping them down to the concrete, waiting for the carpet guys to come along, lay down carpet, cut the carpet, pull the cords through, and then keep going from there. And they hired 4 extra guys on Wednesday, only to lay 4 guys off the same day. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, you suck, goodbye. So they got 6 hours of work from me and paid me for 8 hours.
Nice.
I was at Oktoberfest for a little while yesterday.
Cool.
Local German-American club. And I probably grilled like close to 100 bratwursts while I was there. Because I was doing volunteer stuff.
I haven't had a bratwurst in so long.
Yeah,
Last
I ended up
Monday,
having
I went
a.
to my sister's place. They were grilling burgers. That was fun.
Yeah, I ended up having a frikadellen.
A what?
A frikadellen.
I have no idea what that is.
It's kind of like a hamburger, but like it's made with ground beef and ground pork and a bunch of old world spices.
Okay. I dig it.
Yeah, I had it on a bun with sauerkraut and caramelized onions and mustard. It was very good.
Not a big fan of sauerkraut, but that sounds pretty good on that.
Yeah, like the consistency of the frikadellen is more like a meatloaf than a burger, so it's really tender.
By the way, Y2KNW, unemployment speed run any percent. Way to go, Rimshee.
No,
Achievement
I've
unlocked.
seen worse. I've seen guys who have literally been spun. They show up to the job site and they get told, no, turn around, go home. Here's 2 hours of pay for show up pay. Goodbye.
Fuck. God.
Actually, one of those guys, he was... one of the times, the guy had been working for the company. This was the most recent long call I was on. The guy had been working on the job for a while, and then got laid off because he was... well, there were a bunch of reasons. But he got laid off, and then, like, 2 weeks later, they put in a couple of calls. And he took one of them. And he showed up to the job site, and they were like, why the fuck are you here? We laid you, we just got rid of you. Go back home.
Y2K, I had to drive a guy an hour home from site because he admitted to stealing copper from another site run by the same company during his dock.
Oh.
Why?
Oh, man.
You don't have to say those things. Keep that to yourself.
You know what I tend to steal from companies? A couple of water bottles for the ride home.
You know what I steal from companies? I'm never going to tell you because I don't steal from companies.
Yeah,
Oh,
they don't
man,
care
well-
about the water bottles so much. Like, oh yeah, I'm finishing off this water bottle that I've had all day. Oh no. Or not all day.
Don't you-
I grabbed it to drink at the end of the day. Oh no, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it on my ride home. Yeah, that's not a huge issue.
Yeah.
Rimshee bringing up fucking water bottles. Like, remind me of this news story I saw the past couple of weeks. Where this guy, like his fucking homeowners association, is charging him hundreds of dollars in fines because he puts out water bottles.
That's fucked.
What, for like the delivery guys?
Yeah, for like delivery guys or just like people in his neighborhood. They're like, oh man, I could use a water bottle right now.
Yeah. There are some good HOAs out there.
Yeah, mine's pretty decent. The only thing I don't like about mine is the sheer cost of it. But, like...
Yeah.
My HOA, it's pretty much, yeah, you're paying us so that we can maintain our water purifying system, and we can maintain the public areas, like the pool, and the clubhouse, and the private roads that are part of the HOA.
Well, you're a libertarian. You should be paying for the roads.
Hey, they're community maintained. And they're maintained better than that main road that the fucking county maintains. And our main entrance is maintained by the county. And holy shit, every year they put a patch over it, and all it turns into is, oh yeah, it's done at the beginning of summer. Now, because it's during summer and they didn't do a good job of it, it's all wavy now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good HOAs are like good cops. You just don't hear the stories about them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about my HOA is how much it costs. But at the same time, I would be perfectly okay with that cost if it came down to like, hey, here's the itemized deduction of where all of your fees, all of your HOA membership fees go. We'll send it to you this month, like we do every month,
remember
or even annually.
Remember that guy that the homeowners association tried to fine him for putting up a trampoline, and he threatened to put up a radio tower because that's protected by the FCC. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
By the way, anybody out there listening that is part of an HOA, if you try to put up like a trampoline or anything like that that the HOA deems as unsightly, threaten to put up a radio tower, because that is federally protected and they can't do shit about it.
Dude, I cut down a tree.
That is much more unsightly than children having fun jumping around.
I cut down a tree in my, well, it's technically my side yard, but in like a very visible to the road part of my house, I cut down a tree. Didn't tell the HOA. No one ever gave a rat's ass.
Yeah.
Well, I've said it before in the past, but like HOAs have a nasty habit of attracting the type of petty authoritarians who are too stupid or talentless to make it in politics.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
also a bunch of like brown nosers.
Y2K, you can make that claim, but being perfectly honest, the big issue is that the people who maintain the HOA books are in Florida, and it's not anyone local dealing with it.
Bert Kreischer's dad?
Ah?
I'm joking. Never mind. That's a deep cut. Don't worry about it.
But also, that claim is kind of stupid because not everyone chooses to live in California.
Yeah.
Like, some people don't have the ability to move out of California.
Yeah, namely the poor and the middle class.
Yeah. Yeah, Y2K.
Yeah, it's the rich fucks who move out of California and then ruin somewhere else.
Yeah, Y2K, you classist piece of shit. It's not Rimshee's fault he was born there. Y2K. You know what? I'm going to put you on a timeout.
Shame. Shame. Game.
Well, some people are trapped in Canada, apparently.
Yeah.
But, oh no, they're not, because Y2K says they make the choice, so Y2K chooses to live in Canada.
Oh, Y2K, sit in the corner for 10 minutes. You can come back when you're less classist. We don't tolerate that. We don't tolerate racism, homophobia, never mind, we do all these things.
Yeah.
Yes, we tolerate homophobia as a bi guy and however gay sir is.
Gay! I say that my sexuality is complicated and leave it at that.
It's not that complicated.
Oh, what did we cover
not
last
really.
week where we found out that we were more progressive than something that was supposed to be super progressive?
I'm fetish sexual. That is how I will identify.
I'll take it.
I don't remember what it was that we were less
No, we were more progressive.
yeah, more progressive than.
Is that on the take that women are retarded?
No.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it had to do with last one.
Shut up, Watch.
You little
whatever.
motherfucker. How dare you?
Doesn't matter. I lost it. If Y2K wasn't timed out for being a bigot, then he could probably let us know.
They're getting way too bold now, man.
Who?
The fucking mice.
What mice?
I've got fucking mice.
Okay.
I saw one just like walk right out of the like what used to be the garage into the living room. He wasn't even running, he just walked in here and I'm like, you little son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You're just mocking me now.
Alright. So let's move on to one of the topics. South Park. They're not putting out anything until 2025.
Well, it is August.
Yeah, this is around the time that they usually start up their season. It's also September.
Fair enough. Creators are Alright. Let's see.
Yeah. I just wanted this as like a discussion thing. We don't have to read the whole article or anything like that.
No, I'm just reading the full thing. Here's the title of the article you pulled up. South Park to return in 2025. Creators are skipping election on purpose, avoiding Trump jokes, and also waiting for Paramount to figure their shit out.
Yeah. Which is totally fair. They just reopened Casa Bonita. They're busy with that. On top of, like, they essentially what they said in the interview was they don't know what other jokes to make. They've already made all the jokes that they can. Trump is he's just keep doing the same thing. There's nothing really new to deal with. And
yeah, all you're going to be doing is making fun of the Democrats, and if you're trying to seem balanced and unbiased, that's... Oh, it's the same old joke about Trump. Oh, there's something new about Kamala.
Yeah. Yeah, so they don't want to deal with that, plus the whole thing with Paramount and HBO having their whole feud thing, their lawsuits and whatever. Like they're just staying out of it, which is totally understandable.
Let the big media corporations have their slap fight.
Yep. A lot of things happened this year that I would have liked to see South Park episodes about, but I mean, I get it. They're busy. They have more than enough money. They've said in several interviews, they're like, we already have our plans for the next thing for us to do figured out. We're just waiting to get canceled. But they just don't do it. So we just keep making the show.
Oh yeah, like, because Trey Parker and Matt Stone, like, they're one of the few, like, creative teams that's in a position, like, got into the position. It's like, we can literally just do whatever the fuck we want now.
Do you know why? It's because they have principles and they stand by them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's why. They haven't wavered. They haven't wavered on their principles. They've, like, adjusted their opinions or positions on certain things over time. But their, like, base principles have always been the same. Yeah. So, shout out Trey Parker, Matt Stone. The newest game sucked, though. So maybe you should have paid more attention to that. But
The newest
Yeah,
what? Game?
the newest game.
yeah,
Mm.
South Park Snow Day.
To be
Sucks.
fair, games have been on a downward spiral for a while. At least AAA games.
Yeah, but the first two games were so good.
Yeah.
And then they just diverted entirely from the whole formula that made those first two games good. Like, they made it 3D, didn't make it look like the show, made a shitty combat system, it was glitchy as hell.
Also, the fact that
It
like
was like a modern day
the...
it was like a modern day version of the 64 game that they put out.
Maybe they wanted to stop doing
Also
the
the
games,
fact-
so they let the studio do what they want.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that like they just revived like the theme of the first game. It's like we already did the fantasy shit.
I'm relatively okay with them doing the fantasy shit again or the superhero thing again. It's just how they did it was not good.
I'd say it's like we could have had like a South Park game that was like themed after like, you know, like Cyberpunk 2077 or something.
Oh, that would have been dope.
Ooh, yeah, honestly, if you were
Yeah.
to do it right, you could pull off a lot of shit with the South Park IP, even in a 3D game. But you gotta know what you're doing.
No, it needs to look like the show, in my opinion. I think that's part of the charm.
It needs to have the papercraft look.
No, okay. No, I'm not arguing with that. But imagine you're walking around in a 3D space, and as you go around characters, they just rotate, and it's obviously a flat perspective right at you.
Oh, like
Paper Mario?
original Doom, like original Doom sprites.
Yeah.
All right.
Or
There's
like
a way to do that for sure. But like, okay, so let's imagine like a South Park game set in like Cyberpunk, like you said. Imagine a South Park game in like Fallout sort of scenarios.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
They have like South Park version of the Road Warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of ways they could have gone while keeping the same base formula.
Yeah, you'd have to leave all the cutscenes as looking very similar to the show. You just do for the actual 3D gameplay, everything moves as if it's just facing you.
Yeah. No. That'd be funny for like a segment of the game, but I wouldn't want to play the whole game. Like, let's say you accidentally dip into Randy's drawer and you find some mushrooms, and you end up going into like you end up becoming 3D and seeing all the 2D shit. That'd be
You know,
funny.
you say that, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you never know how good it is until you have the people who are the creatives actually come up with a way to make it good.
No,
Yeah.
like what you need is like you need one of those segments like in that Treehouse of Horror episode where Homer Simpson ends up going into the real world.
Yeah. Yeah, there's ways to do it that would be really interesting. It's just, hey, Deana subscribed with Prime.
Nice.
Subscribe for 50 months. Mushrooms. I always get here and miss such important context. We're talking about South Park in the games.
Also, mushrooms are awesome. You don't need context for mushrooms.
Also, what's
you
the
run across
likelihood of what's the likelihood they just didn't care because they were like, we did what we wanted with the last 2 games. Fucking do what you want and just let the studio go wild so they didn't have to deal with trying to multitask anymore.
If Matt Stone wasn't such an avid gamer, I would agree with you on that. But I know he's like a huge gamer.
Yeah, like there's been a lot of stuff happening with gaming recently.
Oh, sorry, Y2K. I didn't see you over there. Maybe it's because you were timed out.
By the fact that Star Wars Outlaws came out and no one cared.
Oh, no. People cared. But only because they wanted to shit on it. Because it's bad. They didn't want to shit on it to shit on it. They wanted to shit on it because it's bad.
So, like, some of the funniest streams I've seen recently is, like, Mauler playing Outlaws. And just all the times where, like, he just starts laughing. But it's like that I'm kind of dying inside sort of laugh.
Dude! You... On the hardest difficulty, you just hide in grass and no one can fucking hit you.
Yeah. The enemies completely break. They don't know what to do.
Wait, so do you guys know anything about the game Concord?
I've heard a few
shut
things.
down within a week?
2 weeks.
It took a little longer than a week, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like...
I saw a video saying that that's actually going to save the game industry because the companies know they can't fuck around like that anymore. Or something like that.
I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
Because
Y2K, you and I both.
Yeah.
So, Concord was this game. It was sold very heavily on how diverse it was.
Okay.
And like it took them 8 years to develop this fucking game. And estimates now are like, people are saying it was like $100 million to develop this game. It was probably closer to $150 million.
Yeah. You want to know?
It has sold 25,000 copies.
Oof.
Of which they refunded every single one of those purchases.
Ooh.
Oh no, it's worse than that, Rimshee. It's worse than that.
Continue.
Because they didn't just have to refund people that actually purchased the game. They had to refund all of the retailers that stocked physical copies.
Oh, I know.
It's like, oh, it sold $1 million. It's like, yeah, they didn't even make that because they had to refund everything.
So I'm gonna clue those industry devs that are definitely listening to the show in on how to make a diverse game.
You mean Y2K?
Yeah. So what you do is you make a really, really good game. And then you make the characters diverse. It's a weird concept, I know. The most diverse game I've ever seen is Hogwarts Legacy. There's trans people, there's white, black, brown, fucking everybody's in that fucking game. But it doesn't feel out of place.
Well,
at all.
This was one of those, like, not only are the characters diverse, but the developers clearly went out of their way to make the majority of the character models as unattractive as possible.
Well, here's the thing. How do we know if that was the call of the producers or the actual designers? Because my guess would be it's mostly just the producers and a little bit the designers.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, we've seen recently with the cancellation of The Acolyte that there are a lot of people, well, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but, like, there are people out there that, like, legitimately just believe that everybody believes the same way that they do. And when that gets thrown back in their face and proven not to be the case, they completely melt down and lose their shit.
Yeah. And don't advertise on diversity. Just have that be a thing.
Peak all-time players for Concord, by the way, I believe was 86.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And
God,
then
No
there,
one gave a fuck about this game.
I hadn't heard anything about the game until they announced that they were shutting it down, and then everybody started talking about that. Like,
well, here's the thing.
Yeah,
This is
flushing
unverified.
8 years and at least $150 million down the drain.
Larry, subscribe, tier 1. 59 months on a
but
59
here's
month
one.
streak.
Here's one thing to consider. Oh fuck, what was I gonna say?
Oh wait, hold on. While you think of what you were going to say, I do have to say, Larry, I saw you playing Mario Kart 8. When are we going to do our Mario Kart 64 competition?
Can we just recognize that next month, Larry will have been a continuous subscriber to this show for 5 years?
Yeah, we should do
That
something
is
for him.
crazy. Partly that we've been doing this shit for 5 years.
Yeah.
We
Like,
can
admittedly,
always track the show's anniversary by when Larry subscribed.
Yeah, honestly, there's like we know we're not gonna make it big. We can put forth efforts, but we're never gonna be fucking Asmongold levels or even moderately sized, most likely.
There are certain things that we could do that I know we could do, but I'm lazy and I work a full-time job. So,
And I'm unemployed and depressed.
yeah.
And I'm unemployed and looking for work.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going bald. I got plenty of hair. Check it out. Even my crown. Look at that. Look at that. Not going bald at all.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
never have to worry about losing my hair.
You mean like this Y2K? That's not a comb over. That is not a comb over. Look at this shit.
No, that's just Oddly enough, that's his natural hairline.
No, my kid decided to make a mess of my office. And that workbench is there because I've gotta clean my second set of boots and then grease them. So that's why that workbench is there. But yeah, my kid decided to make a mess of my office.
Greasy.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm excited for next season's South Park. And I'm okay with them taking the year off, because I don't know, I'm just a fan of South Park. And if they don't want to put something out, I don't want to see it. If that makes any sense.
They haven't let the money go to their heads, so they've got principles. As a result of having principles,
yeah, and I don't want them to force
what
themselves to
won't
put.
Work.
Yeah, I don't want them to force themselves to put something out. I want them to do it because they want to do it.
Yeah, you can always tell when someone is trying to be funny, and it usually ends up being very sad.
Do you know how the fish sticks joke came about?
I don't.
Yeah, so the South Park team actually created that joke. So, in the summer, South Park generally splits its seasons. Like, there's a few episodes in the fall and a few episodes in the spring. And during the summer, what they'll do is they'll take all the writing staff, like, out on excursions just to look at shit, just to, like, start gathering new ideas, have new experiences, that sort of shit. And they were somewhere in, like, Oregon or Washington, and they were just, like, at this dam looking at a salmon ladder. And somebody said, I kind of want some fish sticks now. And then another person said, wait, did you say fish sticks? He's like, no, fish sticks. No, but fish sticks? And then Trey Parker looks over and is like, wait, has anybody made that joke before? And then they just spent hours scouring the internet to see if anybody made that joke before. And they're like, all right, we got it. That's how that came about.
True comedy.
Such a natural, like, just a natural joke.
Well, you know, like, a lot of people now have been paying more attention, you know, like that talk that they had where they were talking about, you know, like how you should actually do writing.
Oh yeah, the someone does this, then this happens, or therefore this happens.
Well, you know, what they said,
it's not somebody
you should
does
avoid
this
is like,
and this happens. Like, you need to get "and" out of your vocabulary with that.
yeah, it's like, you know, like if your story is like, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this, like, you need to stop. You need to go back, start over.
Yes, because somebody.
It's like
the only time "and" can play a role is when it's combined. Like, this is happening at the same time, but you're better off saying "as," not
like,
"and."
Well, like, you should look at things like this happened, therefore this happened, or this happened because that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it's why their episodes are so good. It's everything plays off of each other to lead to a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it remains logically consistent for as logical as South Park is. It remains internally consistent.
Yeah. Like the episode where Stan hits puberty and everything starts looking like shit because he has depression now or something. And he starts becoming an alcoholic, and he's just like a bummer to be around. Stan becomes a bummer to be around, therefore people stop hanging out with him. Stan also becomes more of a bummer to be around because people stop hanging out with him. Stan starts to drink because of that. Stan gets super drunk, then says some I love you shit to Kyle, and then pukes on him. It's not and it's all of these things have a
This, then this,
progression.
then this.
It's a progression.
Yeah, it's like there are things happening independent of each other within the narrative of the show, but they all tie into each other.
Yeah, it's like
because they're all taking space within the same area and all affecting one another in various ways.
yeah. I love this guy so much.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't even know.
and that's like, that's a problem that's happening with a lot of modern writing, where like if you were to like generally ask these writers, like, okay, how did we get here? I don't know if a lot of them would even be able to answer you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were to ask Trey Parker and Matt Stone, how did Randy Marsh become a weed farmer when he was a geologist? And they were like, oh, because of this. Well, why did that happen? Oh, because of that. 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 It's just like, it didn't feel weird that Randy became a weed farmer. Because of all of the progression.
That is one thing that, like,
like
adult cartoons tend to do better than live action. Like, you look at Futurama, yeah, there's a bunch of shit that happens just because. But even with that, there's some internal consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family Guy, they make fun of the fact that that Peter doesn't have a job at the end of the episode by insulting another show that does the same thing. Well, they continue that into the next episode and that sort of thing. It's still plenty of random, but it does have some consistency. Go ahead, sir.
You contrast that with things like, you know, for example, season 2 of the Rings of Power, which is going on right now. We're just like, oh, why does nothing in this show make sense? I don't know, maybe because all of the characters making decisions are mouth-breathing simpletons.
Yeah, like Star Wars Acolyte. The good thing about Star Wars is that there's no good and no bad.
No.
Suck a dick. That's the whole point of Star Wars, is that there's good and bad. Fucking dumbass.
Well, and that's another thing that they're doing with Rings of Power, is just like, oh, you're like, it's like, what about like the orcs? It's like, what about like the moral gray areas? It's like, no. It's like, but no. There's objective good and evil in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the moral gray areas in Lord of the Rings are whether or not you paid your tab at the pub. That's the moral gray areas. That's about it.
Tom Bombadil would have been a bad. Tom Bombadil would have been a bad addition to the movies. It would have interrupted the flow and
Rimshee.
What?
He's in the show.
I'm talking about the movies.
He's in the show.
Oh, I get that.
No, I'm just saying, like, they put him in the show.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be the one. He's gonna be the one that's teaching not Gandalf magic, so that he can fight Sauron.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Like, oh no! Why is he in Rune? Why is he in the Middle Earth equivalent of the Middle East? Oh God, I hate it. I hate it so much. Why? Amazon pissed away $1 billion on this.
It's fine. Jeff Bezos can afford it. Whatever. Fucking.
Yeah, honestly,
hey,
in the
remember
movies...
that story you told us, Jeff? How your son came to you and told you, Dad, don't fuck this up?
Yeah. Larry, you cannot honestly love that show other than hate on it.
Jeff Bezos hates his son. That's what I'm implying.
Yeah.
Larry says he loves the show.
That's fine. He can be wrong.
Larry, I'm just going to roll under the assumption that you're saying that for the lulz. If not, well, there's no accounting for taste.
English isn't his first language. Maybe that's the issue.
I don't understand any of it anyway, because it makes no sense. In matters of taste, the customer is always right.
Yeah, that was a conversation we had a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Bringing it all back.
Blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb. We're going to do a bunch of quotes that are taken out of context constantly.
Yeah, the people who are making the show definitely didn't read it.
Yeah.
I mean, did you hear...
No.
Did you hear that now...
That pisses me off.
Go ahead.
The thing that pisses me off about this show the most is that they are constantly, blatantly stealing and repurposing lines of dialogue and even shot structure from Peter Jackson's films.
Ooh.
Like, they're not even being subtle about it. Warner Brothers should sue over this shit.
Yeah. I honestly don't have much to say about the show other than things that I've heard. Because I haven't watched it. Because I don't know.
I know enough about the show to know I don't want to watch it. But I mean, this just seems like Hollywood these days. Have you heard they're casting Brie Larson as Darth Revan in a live-action movie of the games?
Wait, what?
No, that's not true.
I heard rumors that Keanu Reeves was thought about for Darth Revan, but which even then I wouldn't have liked that either. But
it's not true. But someone posted a satirical mock-up of a poster, and when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh fuck," because it's believable at this point.
No, this is a true
You know what,
fact,
Larry?
though.
Hold on, time out. Larry says, I just like seeing Middle Earth. Totally fair. I get that. I enjoy the Fantastic Beasts films just because I enjoy the Wizarding World. I don't think they're good movies, but I'm like, I get it.
There is one thing that I will give the Rings of Power Season 2 credit on. One thing. The Ints look really good.
Alright.
Like, the effects work that they did for the Ints looks really good.
Yeah, give credit where credit's
That doesn't
due.
change the fact that it's horrifically written and has nothing to do with anything Lord of the Rings or Silmarillion or anything like that, but...
What did I do this time, Deana?
Yeah, you gotta be more specific. There's a delay.
The thing is, like, you brought up the fake thing about Brie Larson and whatnot, Rimshee.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is like, the real way that you can tell that Disney still has not learned their lesson is because they are pushing forward as we speak with a Rey movie.
Yeah. Which is what part of the reason why saying that satirical image was so believable when I saw it, and why you reacted viscerally the way you did when I mentioned it.
Oh, what's that clip? Didn't we teach you your lesson, old man?
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
How many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man? He's like,
Yeah.
I love the young folks, as they all move in to pummel him.
Yeah. I mean, it's... I heard some rumors that Ryan Reynolds might be fired from being Deadpool.
Yeah, I could see them doing that, because it's a dumb fucking mistake they'd be making.
It'd be the worst choice possible.
Yeah. Which is why I think it's the most likely to happen.
That would be worse than having Ryan Reynolds in that X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, being Deadpool like that with his mouth sewn shut.
I just think it's a shame that the most successful of the 3 Deadpool movies is probably the weakest one.
I haven't seen the third one yet, so I'm not gonna cast any
I still
judgment.
haven't seen 2 or 3, so it's on my list.
2's alright.
The fat kid is really annoying, but the movie's alright for the most part.
Yeah. And for 3, I've heard a lot about it, and I'm curious how it's done. So
I've seen a lot of good things about it. I have heard less bad things about it.
I know things about it that have basically killed my interest in seeing it.
No, I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Yeah, same.
Probably projected on the sails of a pirate ship, but just because Disney.
Just don your tricorn. I should get a tricorn for whenever we're talking about sailing the high seas.
Oh, the hat?
Yeah. Also, you could probably just benefit from a hat in general.
Me?
Yeah, you got a wacky hairline.
I got a wacky hairline. This is quite literally my hairline, guys. But as a result, my family members who have had a wacky hairline like this have had their hair till the day they died.
Yeah.
All right, next payday, I'm buying us tricorn hats.
Yes.
You guys, you ever have that point, in elementary school, where you had to make one out of paper?
No.
No. I went to private school. They didn't support piracy.
We were doing stuff for the Revolutionary War. It's okay, everybody make your tricorn hats out of construction paper.
Nah.
And then there was that one kid. There was that one kid who came to school while we were doing all that, and his parents gave him an actual tricorn hat. We're all standing there with our shitty paper ones, and he's got a real one. It's you motherfucker.
They're only $20 on Amazon for shitty ones. So
no shit.
Yeah.
Well, this was when I was in elementary school. Amazon wasn't really the thing it is now.
Regardless, that's why I was saying I'm buying some tricorn hats. Yeah.
A brown faux leather tricorn hat. Yeah, I think that's the one to go with.
Yeah.
And then they've got a shitty Jack Sparrow costume hat for adults that just looks... A tricorn?
Oh, man.
If we're talking about sailing the high seas, I may need to borrow that, dear. I'm not putting on an outfit. I'm not going off screen to put on an outfit just to go back on screen and then come back off screen to take off the outfit.
By the way, whenever we do movie nights, we should wear these hats.
Oh man, the Colts lost. Fuck. Yeah, the Texans are a really good team, though.
Y2K, the outfit stays on during stream. Well, it wouldn't be the first time. Like, we had our 300 episode, you know?
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Alright, I'm stoked. Might not be next week, might be the week after. But we'll be wearing those hats. Alright. You guys want to do some Dear Abbeys or Am I the Assholes?
Yeah, we can do a few. It's not like we don't have time. Which one are we hitting up?
So I posted 2. Son went to a sleepover.
What the fuck is with this Twisted Sifter one?
They're both Twisted Sifter that I posted.
Oh. The non-traditional birth.
Yeah. You want to do that one?
Yeah, because I want to know.
I read through this one a little bit. It's kind of interesting. And it's actually it's an interesting look at current society.
All right, I've got it pulled up.
All right, sir, you want to take it away?
Alrighty. Oh, it's one of those weird pages where there's... I thought it wasn't loading for a second, but I just had to scroll down.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
Yeah.
I literally sat there for a moment going, do I need to refresh?
No, there's just ad blocks.
But yeah. I'm going to... This may be an I am the asshole, but it is still a Dear Lesser Saints in this context. Dear Lesser Saints. His son went to a sleepover at a friend's house, but the friend's mother sent him home when he talked about his non-traditional birth. In today's story, one teen's question leads to his friend getting kicked out of his home. Unfortunately, all the friend did was tell the truth. Let's see why the friend's mom kicked him out. I, 39, and my husband, 40, are a gay couple. This is relevant because our son, 15, is a test tube born due to in vitro fertilization baby, which is unfortunately related to the story. My husband and I have taught him since he was a little kid that he doesn't have to be ashamed of this. It's completely normal that he has 2 fathers. After a while, this test tube thing became a running joke in our household. His son's sleepover at a friend's house didn't go well.
Time out. Normal. Only because of modern technology.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's fine. We're okay with that.
It's not normal, but it's what it is. It's still a human being.
Yeah, you're still a loving family.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
The way I would have worded that is that it's not abnormal for a child to find themselves with 2 fathers.
It's more common now than it has been in the past.
At least in modern Western society.
Yeah.
Unlike some other backwards places of the world. But anyway.
Look at 3 Men and a Baby. It's even...
2.5 men.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck you.
By the way, what a
A few
weird
weeks
choice to have
ago-
Ashton Kutcher replace Charlie Sheen. That was
Yeah.
a weird choice. Just end the show.
And then to have Charlie Sheen like show up from behind at the very last episode, only to die before he gets to the front door.
Yeah. Strange choices.
It's like, man. Well, that was just a fuck you to Charlie Sheen at that point, which
Yeah,
Just
we
end
all
the
saw
show.
it coming.
it's like, I know he was hard to work with, but you're just being incredibly petty now.
Yeah. So he does coke a lot. He drinks a lot. Give him a break.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have like gotten Emilio Estevez and like gave him a different haircut.
Yeah.
That would have been way funnier.
Yeah. That would have been funnier than all 7 seasons of the show previous.
Especially because you have Martin Sheen show up in the show.
What is Emilio up to nowadays? Is he just like chilling on all the money he's made from Breakfast Club and shit?
I have no idea.
We'll look that up later.
Anyway,
Anyways.
a few weeks ago, he had a sleepover at a close friend's house. Man, that's something that doesn't really happen much anymore now, is it? After a few hours, the friend's mother called me desperately to go and get my son. I thought that there was an emergency. When I got there, the woman started screaming that my son is teaching her child bad things, has a bad influence on him, is teaching him to sin. Oh, God.
So this is how you do docking.
His
Yeah.
son is not welcome back at the friend's house. It turned out that my son's friend asked him how he had 2 fathers, and my son explained to him, and the mother heard this. The bottom line is that now my family is no longer welcome in her house or near her children. He wonders if he should have told his son not to talk about being a test tube baby.
No.
I didn't
that's how you find the bit.
apologize, and neither did my son, because it wasn't his fault, in my opinion, and in my partner's opinion. However, when I told some acquaintances, they said that our child should have been forbidden to explain the test tube baby thing to others because it could make them uncomfortable. So am I
No.
the asshole that I let him talk about this? No,
Nope.
absolutely not.
Absolutely
No.
not. 100% not. No,
You-
that's how you find the
it's like-
biggest. Your son
You
is
are-
going to see
Yeah.
that kid at school still. They're still going to be friends. The moms of cunt.
Yeah, honestly, the worst thing you're guilty of is not teaching your kid tact and timing.
Well, the other kid asked.
Yeah, the other kid asked. That's not, and that's fine. But my point
And
with
the
that
bitch
isn't so
happened
much.
to overhear it.
Yeah, my point isn't so much that he shouldn't have told the kid. It's more that he should have kind of looked at all the crosses in the house and realized, yeah, this is a house that's probably gonna result in,
Yeah, just be like, I'll tell you later.
yeah, exactly. I think that's the
Well, even
only
then,
thing the
you know,
dad's
like-
guilty of. The only thing.
Especially because it's becoming, like, it's still very prevalent here, more prevalent here than a lot of other developed Western nations. But it has become notably less prevalent. I don't think it's reasonable for, like, any teenager, like, they said this kid's 15,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to expect that level of rampaging, hateful religious intolerance.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's no, Y2K My parents were very accepting of gay friends that we had. My
Also,
sister
they
and I.
were a man and a woman, so, you know, he's not a
Yeah.
test tube baby.
No, my mom was very much hate the sin, not the sinner sort of person. But she was very loving to all of my gay friends, and like even me as a bisexual, she still loves me.
All right, here. What's Reddit say?
I love how it's all in bold. Like,
And very, very big.
yeah, they're saying the same thing we're saying. Yeah, it's
like,
but
as, like,
ultimately,
not the
ultimately, your kid and that kid, there's going to be an awkward period, but they're probably still going to remain friends in school.
Yeah.
They just can't.
Yeah.
As long as mom doesn't find out.
Yeah, and that kid might even like sneak to hang out at your guys' place. You know, because it's like
there's a chance that like even the friend is like probably will say to that kid, it's like, yeah, about yesterday, bro. It's like,
sorry
I'm
about
sorry
that.
about
My
that.
mom's a cunt, especially at 15.
well, like it could even be it's like, you know, like I always know that mom loved the Jesus. I didn't realize that she was a lunatic.
Yeah. Especially in modern day.
Because
yeah,
like
and there's always
I'll straight up say, it's like, that is lunatic behavior.
yeah.
I would say zealot. Lunatic is also accurate, though.
Yeah. Very zealous behavior. It's not, yeah.
You know, like, it's people like this that are the reason why the stigma, not unjustified by the way, that the stigma of religious intolerance is never going away.
Yeah. Larry, I don't think it's weird that they explained the test tube thing, in vitro fertilization, because you start learning about where babies come from relatively early in life. And kids
In
probably
high
have
school, you
questions, and they
learn
were
the
just honest with
process.
them.
In high school,
Yeah.
you learn the process. So, in his case, his dads are going to be sitting there trying to either come up with an explanation or trying and hiding it, and may as well tell the kid the truth.
Yeah.
It's going to be the easiest path to success.
Like, with our current technology, you know, like, there are only three
Yeah,
things that are required for baby.
Oh, yeah.
Viable egg cell.
Oh, okay, wait. Hold on.
Viable sperm cell, uterine wall to attach to.
Larry thought that he was like 7 in explaining this shit to his friend.
Hey, Nick.
He was like 7. That's fine.
No, he's 15.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Nick.
Oh.
Yeah, Nick's over on YouTube.
Oh.
Nick, pop over to Twitch. That's
Skeet.
where everybody else is at.
Yeah, you can type in the comment section. I'm not reading it because I don't have Twitch open right now.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous to have that kind of reaction. It's like I'm trying to think of how my mom would handle it. And I think my mom would just be like, would just ignore it, and then when the kid left, be like, hey, it's not okay for men and men to be together. That's a sin.
Even
But
then,
other than
I
that,
still
I
say
don't
that's
think
fucked
my
up.
mom would be like...
Yeah, that's
my mom
what
would not
Thursdays
be
are
like
for.
this. Yeah. Larry, that's why I read everything out, so Sir can't silence you. Okay? Alright. You want to do the one with the bride? No?
Sure.
I can't
Give
think
me
of
a
anything
moment.
else to say about that. That mom's a cunt.
Yeah, there's not much else to be said.
Yeah, it's like
I just thought it was an
it's
interesting
like
thing to
great.
talk about.
You're an intolerant religious lunatic. Good for you.
Yeah. Definition of a bigot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that you've proven to that kid and to your son is that you're a bad person. Good job.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, like I
definitely
said,
not the validity of your argument. Mostly because you didn't make one.
You're teaching my child sin. Ugh. I just got gay dads. I don't know.
Like, we can make jokes left and right, but that's whatever it is.
Yeah. Alright, let's get to the bread one.
This bride was trying to plan to prevent wedding disruptions, so she suggested the groom's siblings should sit at the back of their with their newborn. Now he's saying she's being rude to assume the child will be a problem. Honestly, I have a kid. I would probably want to sit off to the side, or at the back, so that if my kid starts acting up, I can dodge out pretty quick.
Also, as you just stated, newborn.
Yeah,
Babies cry a lot.
it happens. Not all of
Everything
them,
they
but a
experience
lot
is
of
the
them.
worst thing. Yeah, everything they
Well, no,
experience
it's
is the
because-
worst thing they've ever experienced.
Well, no, it's just the fact that, like, when you have children that are that young, like, especially newborn, crying is the only way they can communicate with you.
I want
That's
to know.
the only way they can get mommy's attention. And that's for anything. It's like, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I need my diaper changed. Crying is their only method of communicating things to you.
Planning a wedding is stressful enough, but when you're trying to keep the peace with a newborn in the mix, things get complicated. When the bride-to-be suggested that her fiancé's sibling, who will have a newborn, sit in the back during the ceremony to avoid disruptions, it didn't go over as smoothly as she had hoped. Dear Lesser Saints, am I the asshole for suggesting my fiancé's sibling with a newborn sit in the back during our wedding ceremony? My fiancé and I are planning our wedding, and we're trying to sort out the guest list. My fiancé's sibling is expecting a baby before our wedding and plans to bring the newborn. We want a child-free wedding ideally, but have made exceptions for my fiancé's siblings' cousins' kids aged 3 to 11 since they are family.
That's fair. That's.
Wait. What the fuck is this statement? Wait, isn't that a child?
Yeah, no, they made exceptions. Chill.
However, I'm concerned about the potential for a newborn to cry during the ceremony, which is very important to us since babies just cry whenever. I suggested that if my fiance's sibling wants to attend, they could sit in the back corner so they could leave quietly if needed. And it wouldn't affect the ceremony or videographer. My fiance thinks it's rude to suggest this before the baby is even born and is upset by the idea. I'm
Your
stressed
fiance's
with Yeah, he is. Or she, I don't know which. I'm stressed with planning and want to minimize disruptions. I'm not gonna read that that little excerpt comment thing. Fuck that. To be clear, I'm not trying to exclude the newborn. I'm just asking that my fiance's sibling be seated in a way that is not disruptive if the baby cries, or they have to step out during the middle of the ceremony. Am I the asshole for wanting to manage this ahead of time?
No.
No.
No, that's actually extremely thoughtful.
Yeah. Your motivation may be wrong. I will say I don't know your motivation, other than that you're probably specifically thinking about your wedding, the videographer, all that shit. But other than that, I don't see an actual issue with this.
Larry's got it right. You're an asshole for inviting them. Yes, they're sibling. Dude.
I had my 2-month-old son. My 2-month-old son came to my cousin's wedding with us. But
yeah.
That worked out really well. He cried maybe once. I forget how exactly that worked out. Oh, that's right. He was a really good boy for the entire ceremony and the entire party, but cried on the way home.
Yeah.
He was tired and he was thirsty.
But still, in most of my interactions with other people, I almost always give the other person an out, whether it's a conversation, an argument, hanging out, things like that. I always give the other person the out.
We were on the aisle. We were on the aisle. We were ready to take off if need be, but he was really good through that entire ceremony and through the entire party.
But just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Just in case. That's
the whole thing.
It's just a precautionary thing. That's all.
It sounds like her
of the baby.
It sounds like her entire motivation has to do with her wedding, not the parents or the kid. So that could make her a bit of an asshole, but the actual actions taken on their own do not. And even with that, her intentions are only a maybe.
No, she's suggesting it because so you're viewing it in a different way. Like she's viewing, oh, this baby's going to ruin my special day. I'm viewing it as, oh, they have a newborn baby. They might not want to disrupt us.
Oh no, that you and I have the same thought. You and I have the same thought. The thing is, it does say here, so that they could leave quickly if needed and it wouldn't affect the ceremony or videographer. So based on her own words, it does sound like she's prioritizing her wedding a little bit. But the actions themselves are not asshole. I'm saying that if anything makes her the asshole, or him, I forget. I'm so confused on which one this is.
There were no genders thrown around.
Exactly.
No.
I'm assuming it's her, but
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If you are knowingly going to be bringing a newborn to a wedding, then
you should volunteer to sit at the back corner.
Yeah, and you should leave the room if your child starts screaming.
Yeah,
that's just what you should do.
Yeah, it's the proper thing to do. I've brought my son to a couple plays. I've brought my son to a couple children's plays that my wife was vocal directing. One, he was great for. He was fantastic for like the first hour.
Yeah.
And then I had to bring him out to the lobby. The second half he was great, and then I had to bring him out to the lobby like halfway through. The second show, he couldn't last even 5 minutes because he suddenly became aware of how scary the darkness is. Was that the third?
Oh.
There he is. He heard his dad talking shit.
He's a great little kid, though. You can hear him in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can hear.
I wonder if chat can.
Can I interject something on this from a woman's point of view? And someone who's
Deana!
No, we hate women.
Deana, not allowed. You're a woman. Your point of view doesn't count.
Women don't have opinions.
Go ahead, Deana.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on, real quick. Remember how I started off the show saying how we were so progressive?
You're so progressive. God, you guys, the most progressive podcast there is. Anyway.
The only reason we did that is because you asked.
Yeah, true. I can't help but, like, I don't know. I guess I just had the polite thing, like, just
To be
crammed
fair,
down my throat.
we are better than most progressives, I would say. Because most progressive these days will be like, we should listen to women. Then a woman's like, we're being too mean to men. Shut up, woman.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's so weird. But I just want to say, oh my god. What is this Kamala Boogly? What the hell? Who is that?
That's me.
That is
He's talking
you're
about
Kamala
me.
Boogly?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to watch the beginning of the show.
Because I'm so progressive.
Oh,
I'm so
you and I
progressive.
are gonna
It's
have
not
to
like I
talk
have a whole
now.
joke about trans suicide or anything like that.
Well, yes, but we know that
Anyway,
Kamala,
Deana, please
I would
continue.
add your name. So, but on the original subject, I personally, if I had a newborn and I was invited to a wedding and they're like, oh, and it was like a sibling's wedding or some relative, and they're like, oh, we want you up towards the front, and I'd be like, but I have my baby, and they're like, no, it'll be fine. I would not be able to enjoy the wedding. I would be worried the whole time that my baby's gonna, not only that, but what if the baby, like, if the baby is hungry and then you're kind of caught in there and then you got to somehow try to, like, maybe, like, I wouldn't be able to nurse at a wedding either. So the whole thing is uncomfortable and icky. And I don't think that it's a bad thing that the bride wanted to give the sister, space with the brand new baby. Like, it just would be, I think the fiance took it personally in a really weird way of like, oh, what, because she has a baby, she's subhuman? No, she has a baby and we're trying to be respectful. Why are you trying to be an ass who, like, keeps your sister trapped?
Again,
like,
I will say, because of certain things she says, there is a possibility that her motivations could make her an asshole, but that's based on very limited info, and it's a possibility, not a guarantee.
Okay, but it's wanting limited disruptions plus giving the parent an out does not make you the asshole.
No.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with, like, you're assuming. See, like, the problem is like we're getting this in text and not by the person actually speaking, where we can hear the voice inflection and see
exactly why I'm not committing to her being an asshole. I don't think she is. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Stop it. She's not an asshole. Let Larry be the asshole. Have you been seeing what he says in chat? No.
Yeah, share the titty.
Let Larry be the the devil.
Deana, you should listen to Larry.
Share the titty. Well,
not on stream. We're on Twitch.
But my
Larry likes the rings of power. His opinions are invalid.
If I do that, that'll get the show kicked faster than Jables' special song,
Well, not if it doesn't show up on screen.
Fair.
That was an invitation, asshole. Don't press that button.
Oh, come on.
He's gonna
Come
on.
This is some effed up S.
There you go. That's right.
But honestly,
You're free
my
to
point, Deana, is not that she is an asshole. In fact, I think we're gonna just assume it's the bride. My point isn't that I think she's an asshole.
I looked back up. It is the bride. So that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it isn't that she's the asshole guaranteed based on these words. It's that given that it's text and we don't know the full situation, the fact that this text is included could indicate certain motivations. But even then, I don't think she's the asshole. That's purely me playing devil's advocate.
Right, but even
Yeah.
if she is concerned about like the ceremony going off and the videographer being like, being messed with, there is a lot of money being paid for such services. Like,
It is their
costly,
day.
and yeah, it is their day, and they want to share it with people. It's weird, but it's also really pricey for whoever's paying for it. So you don't necessarily, but I mean, what are the more memorable things at a wedding? Like that everything goes perfect and it was like this dream thing, or like the little weird things that
most
happen
women
that
would say
make it
that's
unique.
the case.
So
Nah, I never had a dream wedding. Like my weddings were all kind of weird in a way. I've had two.
So
And
Rimshee, this is like if I threw a kegger, but you were like, I can only go if I bring my child. And I was like,
what the hell?
okay.
Why would somebody
bad
bring a
at analogies.
kegger?
I've been
Convince
bad
me
at
to come to
analogies
your
today.
side.
That's
I'm already in agreement with you. I'm already in fucking agreement with you. And I'm saying that the only way I could possibly see her being the asshole is under this very, very specific situation that is most likely not the case.
I'm sorry, I'm now envisioning this kegger that Jables is trying to have, where you're all like, my son must come with me to the kegger. And then
Yeah,
Well,
he does
no,
great
they'll probably
things,
have like
you
live
know.
bands and
No,
stuff
no,
like that.
no,
Yeah.
we'll get Mini Rimshee his own keg of like root beer. And so
Why would you ask Mini Rimshee his own cake? I want one of those. I'm not a beer drinker.
Yeah, he's not
No.
a beer drinker.
oh, that's true. I'm not a beer
She's
drinker
like, where's
either.
my root beer keg?
Right.
I
It's
want
like,
a root beer
and
keg.
and something to drink with it, so it's like the chaser. Yeah, no. Rimshee and
I
I'll
actually do
drink
know a brewery that
whiskey
makes
or
their own
something.
root beer, so we can get root beer cakes. By the way, if you guys come.
Oh
up.
yeah, no, we've.
She can get a
Jables,
mini
the-
keg of apple juice. Nice,
Yeah.
Y2K.
My favorite root beer is made by a brewery up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, we've.
I know
the
one.
place that
I know
we
one
went
place
to-
that still uses sassafras for their root beer.
Jables, that place that we went to for pizza when you were up here, the
Yeah.
Moose's Tooth, they make their own root beer too.
Nice.
It's pretty
So
darn good.
here's the one thing I'll say. This is obviously an "Am I the Asshole" post, which generally tend to be more one-sided to make the person posting look better than those than what we expect from, say, a Dear Abby. Of course, we found that plenty of Dear Abbies are, I want to look good and I want someone to agree with me, but
Yeah.
you're more
This one's
likely
pretty
to see.
straightforward. This is more of a Dear Abby than an.
Yeah,
Am I
this
the
was more of a
Asshole?
Dear Abby, but this is an Am I the Asshole, and usually Am I the Asshole tends to be more one-sided. I would not be surprised to find out that she is fluffing up certain aspects of it, like maybe she only talked about the videographer and the ceremony, and was just thinking, oh, well, if I toss it... Devil's advocate, again, I don't think this is the case based on this bunch of text. But
Quit hedging.
for argument's sake, it could be that she's throwing that stuff in to make herself look not as bad, but she only really cares about the ceremony and the videographer. I will
It's
say
her
that
day.
I will say that I doubt that's true because of the already making exceptions for the siblings and cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, 3-year-olds are not exactly the most.
I would rather a newborn than a 3-year-old at my wedding.
I don't blame you.
Really? Because
That's-
I mean,
that's-
you've been around
yeah,
a
it's her
3-year-old?
fucking wedding.
Yeah, it's her
It's
wedding.
her day.
But that being said, well, the only reason that I'm even making that point is because if you given that you're already making exceptions, that you're probably not thinking about that being the case. You're probably thinking, at least partly, hey, that way we're not disturbing the ceremony or the videographer, and more importantly, they can get out quicker.
Yeah.
Wait,
They can
gotta
take
make-
care of what they
you're already
need to
making
take care of.
exceptions. You're making concessions. You're putting somebody in a place in case something happens. They can just zoop without distracting anybody else. It's honestly it's really thoughtful.
Yeah, honestly,
So-
that's what I think of this.
Because like let's say they were placed dead center with that newborn. Now they have to crawl through people. It becomes embarrassing. They're disrupting everything. And
it's all caught on video.
And it feels disrespectful. Back row on the edge. Dip out real quick if anything starts to happen. It's not just about respecting the ceremony and like whether or not it'll fuck up the videography or whatever. It's about preventing the embarrassment for the parent.
Right.
Yeah.
For disrupting the whole ceremony.
Especially
That was my
since a
point.
new
That's what I was
parent,
thinking.
I'm gonna assume that this is this sibling's first kid. Even if if it's not,
that's what it
then
sounds like.
yeah, that's what it sounds like. When it's your first kid, you're absolutely embarrassed. Anytime the kid's crying and overdoing something, you're absolutely embarrassed. The more kids you have, it's like, yeah, this is expected.
Wait, did you have a kid without telling us?
What?
Like a second one?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
He's working on it though.
No, we're gonna start working on the 21st. Or maybe the 20th. No, probably the 20th. Maybe the 21st. We'll see.
Of this month?
Rimshee's gonna start gooshing inside of his wife on the 21st.
Oh my God. Babe, stop. Ugh, gross.
We've got a wedding to go to for my cousin on the 20th. I am in the wedding. My wife wants to be able to drink during the wedding. My son is actually the ring bearer for the wedding. So we're all going to be there.
Okay.
But, yeah, so that's the only reason we're waiting. The only reason. Otherwise, she'd probably
'cause she
already
wants
be
to
pregnant
drink?
by now. Yeah, because she wants to drink and not have to worry about introducing toxic substances to in utero child.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Being responsible.
Shout out to Miss Rimshee being responsible.
Oh, yeah.
Well done, Mr.
She
Ritchie.
keeps
Yeah,
going.
and
Shout out to Mr. Rimshee for pulling out.
oh my God.
I've
Just
got
when
better
I'm like,
pull-out
oh,
game
this
than
is
Linus.
fine, and then-
Linus Sebastian from Linus Tech Tips.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, he makes the same jokes. He's like, yeah, my pull-out game is weak.
All right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm just.
Well,
It's best
I think
not to.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
this has
no,
been a
I'm just-
show.
It has, in fact, been a show.
That it can be classified as.
So long, fellow kids.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. We've been the Lesser Saints of Discord. Yeah. See you next week, brothers.
Later.
Bye.